Jurika, can they see me now? Am I? No? Can they hear me though? This is
Are
amazing.
we on?
We're on. Our voices are on. Hello, my friends. It is I, Leap. I am not just a voice, but I too have a face which you will see soon. But they can see my face? Oh my. I thought you were. Hello, my name is Leap. You have seen my face this whole time. I can't see my face, but you can. So it exists. We welcome to Smallfolk. We are currently experiencing a bit of technical difficulties here. So we are waiting to see if that's going to level itself out in the next 5 minutes. So we're going to do a bit of an intro, and then you're going to see a little bit of how the sausage of our podcast is made. We are going to do a clap in for our audio, and then we'll start our recording, and we'll do a very quick intro there, or we might just get to it. But my name is Lee.
Our clapping is our excitement.
Yeah, no, definitely. We should do this like old-timey radio play.
Oh, you said old-timey radio play?
Yeah, then we all have to talk like this. And
you've got to use your transatlantic voice, sir, because back then they didn't have bass and speakers.
To the past.
I may be broken tonight, guys.
This is great. So welcome. Thank you for coming. For everyone who's in the chat, I can't actually see the chat right now because it distracts me too much. Welcome to Smallfolk. It is a pleasure to have you. What we are going to do is we are going to do a quick intro of all of our players. I'm going to try and link that in our personal chat as well. But it is very, very good to see you guys right now. And you know what? Here, I'll just let people know. We are going to start with our good friend Ooze. Ooze, can you tell us? Can you introduce yourself, your pronouns, your character, and your character's pronouns?
Hey, everybody! It's your boy Ooten. I'm not going to do that. I'm just messing with you. That's not me.
I want that reality.
No, it's fun. Hey, everybody! I'm Ooze. I use he/him. I am playing Akka, the proud scale sorcerer or singer, as they call them on the cliffs. He also uses he/him.
All right, and next up is our good friend Tom.
Hello. Sorry, audio. I am Tom. I go by Samotep online. I use he/him. I am playing Nox, a proud scale druid. And the last time I checked, I was playing with some children.
Yeah, that is entirely true, and that's actually where we're going to start off. My good friends on the stream, you're going to see us black for a minute. I'm going to try and move our spot on Discord to hopefully help with our latency. We're experiencing a bit of it right now, so everything will go black. Fear not, though. We shall return. This is an incredible stream, and I already love it so much. Here we go. I can't tell. All right, are we back, Jurika? Is everything okay? Yeah? All right, perfect. Next up is my good friend Alvin. Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Well, yeah, I'm Alvin. I use he/him. I'm playing Aeonix, the Rivertail Gunslinger, who also uses he/him.
Amazing. And following him is our good friend Dunami.
Hello, friends. Yeah, I'm Dunami, or you can call me Adrian. My pronouns as well as my characters are he/him. And today I'm playing Gindrock of Farloon, the Stone Badger.
I love it. I love this big friend. Next up is Eric.
My name's Eric. I am playing Iscanius, the Beetleborn Paladin. So a bug. Both he and I use he/him.
Amazing. And Jurika, is Haley frozen on your end, or is it all good on the stream? She frozen? All right, we're going to try and move one more time. Oh, it's red indicator. This is quite the stream. Here we go.
It's stream roulette. Go, 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 go.
We're waiting for Haley.
We might have to bring this stream international.
Hey!
We found a good server.
There we go. Okay, cool. Haley, do you want to introduce yourself and your character and your?
Yes. Now that I can hear everyone, I know it's my turn.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Haley. It's great to be unfrozen and be animate again. I use she/her, and I will be playing Nutella, my favorite small mouse friend, and she also uses she/her.
Amazing. So, friends, I want to thank you for everyone who is in our stream right now and watching this. You're really seeing the challenge that that amateur, or I'm going to say indie professionals of streamers have when it comes to connection, when it comes to connectivity. We're currently waiting on our buddy Drew, who his computer decided to do the whole restart at the most inopportune time. So we're waiting on him, but we might as well get down to a little bit of a recap of what was happening. So, table 2 of the Small Folk game, everyone was invited to a wonderful Thanksgiving-style celebration known as the Gloaming here in the valley, where at the beginning, after the first frost that hits the valley on the night of the full moon, everyone celebrates that with revelry, games, fairs, and food to celebrate the dying of the light and the coming of the cold. And our friends here, most of them, were invited to one of the most prestigious and famous of the events at the Trailside Inn. Some of them found their invitations by other ways. Some were sent as emissaries, and some were invited outright. And what was started as a very lovely party went quickly awry, and now we find ourselves in a few different places. Our good friend Gindrock and our good friend Nutella are down within the kitchen. They had found the tiny chickens that had been magically reduced in size so that they, the hungriest of our friends, could get a delicious taste. And they have sensed that things have started to go awry. Gindrock can sense a greater form of chicken further down within the annals of the underground establishment that this place has to kind of house all of the food and kitchenry. And there's also a crack in the wall where his emerging from the ground from his hundreds of years of sleep might have created that crack itself. Many of our party have found themselves deep underground in this empty cave where these etchings that they found, giant stone carvings on the wall itself, have begun to peel off with time, almost like bark or the skin of an onion. And our good friend Ascanius almost became a science project as a spear that was used to anchor down a rope.
My spear.
Your spear.
Your-
That's
oh,
Not just
yeah,
a
yeah,
spear.
oh, yeah.
My spear
yeah,
betrayed me.
Yeah, it betrayed you and pinned you right through. Your good friend.
Like a shadow box.
Your good friend Drew, or his character at least, was able to heal you back up, and you and Aonix and Drew have since are experiencing this place, and all of a sudden, who's Drew? I know, I'm having a brain fart for a second on his character's name. Can somebody help me out for a second?
Dueler.
Dueler, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you. It's been, my friends, it has been a long day. It was the last day of school here in Ontario. Well, students were gone the day before. And so you see a teacher at their frailest, most tired we have experienced all of the year. And now I must go and hibernate.
Especially since that teacher has a new job next year.
That's true, actually. Yeah. That's a cool thing about this is that like there's this staff meeting that happens, and it's technically like everyone thinks of it at the end of the year staff meeting, but it's actually the first one of the next year. So I went to my new school, which was very exciting, but I am very sleepy. Though I'm trying to. Okay, so it looks like our good friend Dueler might not be able to be there. So I will try and play him. I will try and play him as well as possible.
So just annoy Iscanius, and you said.
Yeah. But this is unfortunately what happens sometimes. So Drew, we love you, buddy. I'm so sorry that you're not going to be able to join us. We are sending our love. Hopefully your computer starts working. And if it does, let us know, and maybe we can figure that out.
We can jump him in once it starts working. No problem. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see that. I'll just type that in. Just give Jareka a little bit more work, unfortunately, to do.
She's all happy.
We
with her
love you,
producer.
Techno Wizard.
Yeah. Okay. So what we are going to do now is we are going to do a big clap in, and so our good friends. This is actually something that happens in Inside Check Pod as well. Are the stream that sponsors all of this? Not really sponsors. It's just a Twitch stream. What we're going to do is we're all going to start our Audacity, and then we're going to do a clap in. And
we've not been recording this whole time.
You've been recording this whole time? Amazing.
Yes, I've been recording this whole
I have.
time.
Dude,
Just leave it. It's fine. Just leave
This is
it on.
blackmail material.
All right.
I've started over now. Thanks, it's fine.
You know what? My Audacity is being a jerk, and so I've got to close it and open it up again because.
I love
we are trained
technology.
Because why not? Why not? Jareka, can you show me on one hand how many people are in our stream, or is it more than one? Because if it's it's more than for
We
our
love all of
good
you.
8
Thank
friends
you
who
for
are
not
currently
leaving
in
us
our
while
stream.
while we ride the struggle bus through Struggle Town.
We
I
appreciate it.
absolutely appreciate that, you guys. Okay, so we love you very, very much. And 1 second here, I'm getting text from my wife as well about the air conditioning.
You
One
have it on
second.
heel.
All right, and then here's the thing.
If there's ever any doubt, what is it? The hashtag we ain't critical role
We ain't
applies
critical
now
role.
more than ever.
Hey,
Here we go.
critical
I'll be right
role.
back. 1 second.
Let me
I
put a
can't-
step on
Actually,
that.
1 second here. I'm gonna ask. I'm just gonna send a text.
So I hear you guys like the Dungeons and the
Fantastic,
Dragons.
It's like the real D&D experience because if you
All right.
play
Yeah.
with some friends.
Okay. This has been the most wonderfully weird start to a stream, and I'm so happy about it. And to our 8 friends, you guys are absolutely fantastic. And I promise you a hell of a game that we are now going to start. So here, let's do our clap in. And,
Record.
7 friends. We've lost a friend. It was my fan chat. All right. 3, 2, 1. Clap. Let's do one more just for Jay's sake or Amber's sake. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are in. So we can finally start playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
It's
My
now
good
canon,
friends.
kids.
We can play, Dad. We can play. So what I want to do is I want everyone to roll initiative. We gotta start that
Not
right
cool.
now.
Not cool, DM.
Yeah.
Who's cat?
No, I told you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right. Okay. So
Oh Lord.
now I just need to find my note. That went away. And we are going to get right to the start of it.
Come on, good dice.
Okay, whatever. All right, that's fine. So, did anyone get... Okay, that's for me. Ooh, and for me. All right, so... and did anyone get above... Did anyone get 20 or above?
I got a 20. A dirty one.
All right, so Aka has a 20. Anyone? So 19 to 15. Alvin, what'd you get, Alvin?
Thank you, Maz, for these hot dice.
Ooh.
Alvin, what'd you get, buddy?
16.
16. All right. So we have 15 to 10.
Oh, I got a 17.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Definitely in that
16
number
and
range.
17. All right. Let's see. So we have 10
I
to
have
5.
a 10.
10. Perfect. Nutella with 10.
5.
Nutella with 10. And we have Tom, I'm sorry, can you remind me your character's name?
Knox.
Knox, thank you. Knox with 5.
Oh,
And
Eric.
my good beetle friend, can you tell me, is it... Help
Is it
me out here, buddy.
I go next week.
Okay, all right.
Eric,
I
I
tried
will
it.
log off now. Come back by yourself. For the stream next week.
Oh, speaking of next week,
You get knocked into table 3.
Yeah,
Even now.
this is
I
something.
did
My
not
good
in the
friend-
last Tuesday.
I love it. Okay, so there's an announcement that I'm going to make. There's soon going to be an after show to our show. So we will be able to announce when that really happens tomorrow. Tomorrow at this time, you will see Jerica. Oh, this is at 8? At 8 o'clock. There we go. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, you will see Jerica and our good friend Drunk Fido, who are going to be doing a small folk after show called Small Talk. Am I right on that one? Called Small Talk. And Small Talk. It's with an O.
Small.
Small. Yes, and so that is very exciting. I am very pumped to see what that's going to be like, and I hope that you can join us or catch it on VOD or Pod maybe afterwards. So now that is out of the way, we are going to start with you, Tom. So Nox has been. So insanity arose, right? There was chaos, there was a whole battle, and in your instincts, you protected the 2 young mice children. And so they were within the range of one of these terrible fireflies coming down and shooting out its awful breath. So tell me what Nox would have done to try and save these children from this kind of horrid attack coming at their way.
So Knox was very concerned with their game goings on, the catapult, just getting them precise control over this, and they'd gotten so close so many times that he couldn't let them fail. So he was standing in front of them, and I think there was a point where he leapt off of Ascanius's back or something, knocked one of the fireflies in the head before running back to these children, and mostly just tried to keep them safe. He had built a little hut out of earth for them. Spending most of his time in the wild, he grew to, despite being a cold-blooded creature, he came to really like living in little huts and things, and so he's very adept at making little shelters quickly with mold earth. So he protected them, covered them up, keep the spray away from them, and then when the bugs were gone, we got back to work. There was prizes to be won, and mostly I think mostly ignorant of the rest of the battle going on. The rest of his newfound friends diving into a hole and whatnot. But when he saw Aka sliding towards a hole, he quickly kind of figured out what was going on and used a bit more of that mold earth to anchor his feet down, give him a little boost, and then got back to work because prizes, man. You know,
For
carnivals have prizes for a reason.
Carnivals have prizes for a reason, right? And the girls were a little shaken, right? And they see you. They come out of this. They come out of this hut, seeing everything is destroyed, and seeing that you have put together their game again. And the little one kind of goes right back with you, starts trying to get everything right, and starts telling you how they made it shaped like a cat, and they were going to try and hit it with this very big hammer into the fire. And while that's happening, you hear like a sound of, and you hear like, Akka, what would the sound be of you slowly getting pulled down into the hole? Because that was like the last thing that was about to happen to you. If Akka was making a sound of everything that was anchoring him is no longer working and he is now falling down into a pit, what would that sound like?
But I'm not falling into a pit. I'm anchored. Right?
There was like that slow pull. So correct me if I'm wrong. And there was, the rope wasn't working, and because correct me if I'm wrong, but the last thing that I remember is that Alvin gave a good pull on a rope, and there was a bit of a tug, and that good mold earth around your feet wasn't holding you.
It was not that hard of a tug. It was, like...
He's not wrong.
Make a strength check with advantage for me, Alvin.
I don't have good strength.
Oh no, you're gonna make sure he pulls me down.
I just want to see.
I am a weak lizard boy. Please don't.
It's only a 12.
Okay, so you're starting to go. Like, what was anchoring your feet, you get pulled out, and your body instinctually tries to kind of like catch itself with a foot in front, but the mud and earth that was kind of pulling you down was the thing holding you. And so as soon as that first foot is out, you lift it instinctually. You start to go, and the next foot goes down. And I'm just curious the kind of sound that Akka might make as he's headed towards the hole, in a lizardy sort of a way,
Family stream. You would hear him like,
I'm proud of you.
Before he was held on to the staff and struggling, but when he feels the tug, it's just he looks up and he sees the other proud scale that tried to help him out, which is not the other proud scale that he's worried about.
Yeah, that's true.
And you just hear him go, ah! And there he goes.
There he goes.
Just over the side to take all kinds of how many ever D6 fall damage I need to roll for.
So you start. So Nox, you are distracted. You hear a lizard sound of distress, which is something you haven't heard in a very long time, but is distinct enough that it catches your ear. You turn and you see Akka, or this other lizard that you've waved to, sliding along on his belly, now headfirst down into this pit. What are you gonna try and do? I mean, he's on his way down. Like, I don't know, man. What do you think?
Mud's gotten me far in the world, so I've been I see this happen. I kind of figure what's going on here as he's being dragged down. I know no one else is around, so the girls got it together. So I turn and finally figure, okay, it's my time to act. So I run towards the hole, and try to make the use mold earth to pull the walls out into basically like a slide, like a spiral staircase or spiral slide down this thing, like all the way just spiral as far down as we can get. And so I'll jump on after him with a little whoop, and then it's just serious business from there.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna ask for. I imagine this. I imagine him on his belly. I imagine you jumping and landing on his back and riding him like a magic carpet. As you try and mold the earth in front of you into a slide.
Breathtaking and wonder. Splat.
So I would like you to make I'm going to ask for a wisdom, some kind of like a wisdom concentration check, basically. So like a wisdom roll, you can add your proficiency bonus. The idea being that you are concentrating on consistently casting this spell as you twirl down this pit in the way that you're going round and round and round.
And
Did you
Aeonic,
say that it spins you
Right round,
round.
maybe.
Right round?
Yeah.
That's
Aeonic is gonna try to stand at wherever he thinks that slide's gonna come, and is gonna try to be like ready to catch.
Oh, okay. I like it. All right.
So that's a 15, and I got a +5 to wisdom, so that's 20.
You're so
Perfect.
wise.
So wise. You are able to make this thing bank. You can tell where the earth is going, and you actually get a little bit of movement. So when he goes up, you can turn it around, and you actually are able to slow yourself down. This is the next ride I want to take my kids on for whatever. You are coming down this way, and as you get closer to the bottom, it was dark, but there's a growing sense of light, and you hear a skittering sound around you, even as you feel the sound of the earth and the magic moving the earth in front of you, and probably the surprised sounds of your friend being used as some kind of contraption to get downward. And
Yeah, how does Aka feel about this?
yeah,
At the
How does
moment,
How does he feel about not plummeting to his death?
That's true. There is a
But
positive.
instead sliding
yeah.
to his
It's-
death.
wonderfully about the whole not drop and splat. Less than wonderful about the whole ow, 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 the entire way down.
There will be chafing.
You
But
take
there's
They
an
do
1
nothing.
point of chafing damage.
Damage.
Get my gold bond. Is gold bond impressive in D&D? I don't know.
I don't know, man. So,
Is it made from real gold?
ooh,
Oh, Neo
God.
bonds.
Yeah. Does it bond
Well
you
played,
to
Hilly.
gold? So you see, you have a minute to react on this, Nox, because you rolled so high. You have like a one reaction or one kind of move that you want to do. But as you make that final bank down and you see the ground, you see that there is a well-built and well-meaning river folk standing there, ready to catch you like a mama. Probably not. like
Like at the end of the
hands out,
slide.
like
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
the slide, ready to catch his kid, right? Except the kid are two fully grown male lizards. So
And this is when you see Aeonic's face go, oh, crud.
I'll
I'm gonna
you
give
a single reaction.
I'm gonna give another quick woo, and I'm gonna, as we get to the bottom, I'm gonna try to do like a bit of a not like a kickflip, not like jump, not like too much pressure on Aka, but just enough to hop off. and maybe clear the top of the river tail, and maybe as I'm going over, just slowly pet the top of his and tumble behind.
This is the greatest moment of D&D in my life.
I still hold this box.
You push yourself up, and you're able to get you grab your heel, right? Like you do a little bit of a nice caress along the back ridge of Scales. You grab your heel in good 1990s style skateboard fashion, and you're able to land properly. Your friend missiles into the chest of our good river friend, and you know what?
I'm ready for my damage.
Yeah.
How much more damage am I taking, Leap? Go ahead, pile it on, bud.
Aonix, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the head of a lizard pops you right into the chest. And
need to not eat any more food tonight.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that you, my good friend Akka, are not gonna take any damage from this fall. You're uncomfortable, right? Like you hit him in a weird way, but he is surprisingly soft, and there is a nice amount of give into the chest of this creature. So you're fine with that.
I'll chalk that success.
Dueler looks and says, "Oh, I say, more allies! What a show!" And you see that the light from his sword is the single source. And as you look at the casting of the shadows, you hear the falling of a piece of stone that hits the ground, sending your gaze upward, and along the edge of this completely, it's a half circle cone of a tunnel, you finally see these near kind of stalactite parts that are peeling off, and you see 4 very long millipedes kind of working in tandem, kind of crawling up along the side. Yeah. There's 2 that originally came up, and 2 have since crawled up from the ground.
There were only 2 in the advertisement, Leap.
I know. There were only 2 in the advertisement.
Aonix is gonna look at Duel and just go, "When you retell that, can you make that sound a little cooler for me? Thanks."
And in this moment, you watch as 2 of them had fallen. 2 of them had clearly just cut parts of the connecting part of the stone off onto the ground. And you see them kind of skittering down to the ground, where they pick it up and they start bringing it to one of the holes that they've come from, and start kind of placing it near a spot in a very thoughtful kind of synchronized fashion. And once it's near where they've exited from the earth, they go in tandem along up another part of the ground, of this wall, and you see them choose one that is nearly hanging off, and then you hear a sound as they begin to start chipping away at the connective tissue of this rock to the cave.
Does this make it look like it's gonna be easier to climb out or harder? Is it getting rougher or smoother?
It's getting smoother.
Aren't they also getting rid of our friend's memories / history?
We were going to. This is now where we are going to cut the scene. So
Haley is concerned. Nutella, I don't think knows. I just realized.
Yep. So Nutella, you are eating a chicken, and it is delicious.
The last thing I actually wrote in my notes, the millipedes, is that we took the Chicken Express to Chicken Town.
That's the perfect D&D note. It tells you everything you need to know.
You are in Grand Central Station of Chicken Town, and it is flavor o'clock, my friend. It is that time of the day, and you're having a great time. Gindrock, you have this sense that there is a fading of something that you knew or something that you were told. There is, so for this is how I imagine this, and tell me how you feel about it, because your cloak is stone tablets that tell a story, right? That is, and so my imagining is that those tablets come from the space which you dwell, and there is a process over time that these things will no longer hold themselves within your domicile, but then must be carried on you until you can bring them to a place of honor and worship, high up on a rock cliff where they can be left and shared with others of your tribe who you haven't seen in maybe a generation. So the history of you, or the history that you know, literally has to be carried on your back for a part of time. But there's these stories that you've been told that there are creatures who hunger for the power of your history, and if you are not able to carry it on your back, if something takes it before, then that part of your story is gone. And that could be that you forget the name of someone, but some stories say that if that happens enough times, someone might cease to exist. So this is a challenge.
No
This is
bueno.
a dangerous moment. So how does Gindrock, once Gindrock gets a sense of this, how does he react?
I think so. So remind me where we left off last time. I think that Gindrock was approaching some kind of crevice deep in the kitchens that from which was emanating the scent of, like, deep molded earth and the cavern he came from.
Yeah. So you, in the kitchen, there were two kind of sensories that you were getting. There was like a tunnel that was meant to be a part of the kitchen, where a chicken clearly is, like as like a great sense of the chicken. But then there's a crack in the wall that you've noticed, and from that crack in the wall that clearly hasn't been there for long, you are getting that rich sense memory of where you rested. So it is likely that this hole is connected to the tunnel from which you emerged, right? Like you're probably right on the cusp of it. So that smell of home, that smell of everything that you know, is kind of wafting itself through that space.
Right. I think in that moment that Gindrock senses this leaving of him, and it wouldn't be the first time it has happened, but so I think he would know that his memories, his truth, and his personhood are under attack in some way. I think he would immediately snap around to Nutella, who was, I think, was with him, feasting, and I think she would probably see that his eyes are unlike they were before. They're sharp, intelligent, and deeply concerned, and says, "Come, little one. The battle is to be rejoined."
I think her eyes would get really big. Like her cheeks are all puffed up because she's stuffed as much chicken as she can in her mouth, and then she tucks the rest of it away, and she's like, because her mouth's full.
Yep.
She's polite now.
He would, despite in his moment of need, stop to acknowledge and respect the hunger, because game respects game. And he says, realizing that he's left his greatsword back up the top of the party, in this moment says, "We often find ourselves ill-equipped, but with you here, This battle will be won for the ages. You've got a sword, right? Or something.
A little mace. She takes out the mace, and since she seems like he might be feeling, because the whole lacking sword thing, she gives him like 3/4 of a chicken. Flops in front of him.
He gently pushes the chicken back and says, "That won't be of use in a battle. Have you joined battle before? I'm talking about a fight. I didn't think you looked like you had yourself under control back up there with those little buggy things."
Important to keep your strength to be able to make a battle, so to make sure that you're not going to get hungry.
Yeah, I think he just kind of like, yeah, small folk. He shakes his head. And instead he pulls out, what does Gindrock have in his equipment? Well, I think maybe first he'll decide what to do about that later, but I think he'll tear into this fissure and begin burrowing through towards the source.
Totally. So
Cast
you
spiritual weapon.
Oh. Tell me about the
Decided-
spiritual weapon.
Figured out what it was.
Well, wasn't it a butter knife with Nutella on it?
I think it was a butter knife with some crumbs on it.
Yeah.
Haley,
Gonna
tell me
summon
this.
that.
Is the how tangible is the magic of your spiritual weapon?
Glowing, semi-transparent butter knife.
All right, cool. And it's just
doesn't
hanging
look
there.
solid. It's just hanging in the air, but it's like not like the little crumbs glow a little brighter than the rest of it.
Amazing. Okay, so Gindrock, your giant claws kind of just sink in to the hole and the tiled hole in this wall, and you pull back, and immediately the earth recedes, and you just go right down, and the tunnel fits you perfectly. So you can just descend your way down, like just almost as if you're swimming, right? You can tell that there are new grooves and scratches, but you're just like pulling yourself back down. Everyone under you, Haley, are you just kind of following right behind him, or?
I think if he started to move too quickly, I should jump back on, because that was how she got into the kitchens in the first place, was like amongst all the stone tablets. I think if he got going too quickly, she'd just jump back in there.
For sure. So Nutella just finds her spot right back between the stones, finds a good one to grab onto, a glowing butter knife following instead, and everyone above just hears a and in a second you see the head of the badger come down and just descend down onto the ground. Everyone moves immediately out of the way instinctually as Gindrock lands back down into the bottom. And Gindrock, it is at that point in time that you see these 4 creatures kind of working their way up in tandem along your memory stones, like of your stories, and slowly chipping away at the ones that seem most vulnerable. And since you are the only one who understands what's going on, I'm going to give you the first move.
Okay. Ooh, I think he's briefly overwhelmed by this sight, never thinking that his home would be defiled in this way. So I think what issues forth is just a pained, guttural growl. that I'm not going to do because I've got my in-laws over in the other room.
Yeah.
But it shakes stones loose from the ceiling. And so these huge centipedes, they're crawling over these walls. How big are these things? Are they like small folk big, or are they like Gindrop big?
No, the length of them are as long as you. They are thinner by a lot, but their length goes, it not as your full, like it goes from you expect that they would run from the length of your head down to your hip in their full capacity, and they are the width of your leg, which is sturdy, right? They've got hundreds of long claws. Their coloring is hard to tell. There's only a single source of light, but they are like a molten gray and black. You think that you can see hints of like a yellow undering in between a plate as it moves, but it's very hard to tell in this kind of a light. And they almost, if they were still, they would almost fit right in with the stone, but their movement itself is unsettling, right? Like looking at them for too long almost gives you like a motion sickness kind of a feeling.
So I think what he does is, as this cry shakes the cavern, anyone who's around him sees his eyes start to turn white, and like electricity starts sparking off his body. The coils of it like arcing into the ground as he enters a rage.
Amazing. Incredible.
From then, given these things are not exactly in melee range, he pulls out okay, here's the thing. Do I do the mechanically sensible thing, or do I... No, I don't. He pulls out what looks like...
Yeah, exactly.
He reaches into the stone tablets and pulls one that has like a long stone sheet that has like a arc bound through leather straps, and it pivots off in what looks to be a 45-degree angle. And he takes this enormous boomerang and hurls it directly up to the ceiling. You know, electricity spinning off it as he does. I don't think they're within 10 feet, so I don't think that I can use my... Are they within 10 feet?
I'm going to say that doesn't matter because this is the coolest thing that I've ever imagined. And
Yes!
I'm going to give it to you. So you could, that is dope. So go for it.
Yeah, so, all right. Let's have a look. Where is... I'm trying to look at D&D Beyond here. How does it work?
Suburban easier.
I think everyone in the stream chat go crazy because I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that if they're within 10 feet of me, because of my barbarian, the rage I have allows me to do a d6 of lightning damage in addition to the my normal attack. So what do I roll for my attack with my boomerang?
Incredible. Yep.
I think I'm trying to do it with such force that it would, if not break the ceiling, at least dislodge them from it.
Totally.
Okay.
Entirely.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 6.
6? Okay, what's your attack?
2 plus... No, it's 2 plus...
Okay.
No, I rolled a 5!
Your boomerang goes wide. It flies out, and it doesn't... The arc is shorter than you expect it to be, right?
Yeah.
Like the distance between you and the foe are shorter, and it careens off of... It goes high, and it careens off of a lower hanging one, and that one wobbles for a minute, getting the attention of both of the creatures as they stop chewing for the first time, and in unison kind of they stop, and then they look down to see what is in its way. And on the other side of things, the other two have stopped chewing and also at the same time look down, as if it's a single kind of consciousness working through both of them. Haley, all of a sudden Nutella feels Nutella. all of a
Yeah.
sudden Nutella was
Who's
holding on to
Haley?
something, and you are flung up into the air. Just immediately, you are spinning hard. You hit something.
Wow.
You just the other end of this boomerang that you are unknowingly holding onto hits the stone. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh,
Get for putting things in the cast chat.
When you put a good idea down there. Eric did it with the spear, man. If you put a good idea down there, a DM's got a bite.
I need fan art of a mouse holding on to a boomerang.
Ooh,
Being
I rolled a 19.
hurled relentlessly.
I'm just imagining you going. "Ooh."
Okay.
Wow. As she gets closer and farther away. Yeah.
You hit the stone and you let go, and right beneath you see the turning head of one of the two millipedes, and you land right on top of it. Its whole width is your body, and you are right on the top of this thing, having saved yourself from any falling damage, and you are entirely within striking range.
Hey, Lee, just before that goes on, I will just if you're going to give me my lightning aura attack, can I inject a cool idea here? I like to think that this boomerang is made out of like a rough stone, rich in iron content. So even though it misses, out from like his arm arcs the lightning bolt right to the point of where the boomerang hits and spreads out from that. So the closest, so not Nutella, because I get to choose who this gets directed at using.
So
Storm
Nutella was
Aura.
going to use a thing that produces a bunch of light, so I want the attacks to just hit simultaneously, so there's like tons of light.
And surely that would mean we deal double damage.
Obviously, we have a
that's probably how the
multiplicative
rules work.
effect.
And out of nowhere,
so
the room
when
goes.
this,
Yeah,
so when
it
my
becomes
Storm
the
Aura is
nightclub.
active, the centipede has to make a Dex saving throw.
Okay. What's
Against,
the number?
let me check. It's 8 plus 1 plus, so 8, 11. So it has to beat 11.
Okay, it rolled a 4, so it definitely doesn't.
That's just a
make it,
D6 of lightning damage.
Perfect. I love it.
I roll 3.
Okay, so it takes. You see the now Haley has landed on one, or Nutella has landed on one.
Yeah.
Will you attack that one or the one beside it? Those are the two.
I think I'll attack the one that Nutella landed on.
Perfect. So Nutella, you land down hard, and you see lightning jump up. And the only thing blocking you from the lightning is the body of the terrible monster that you are on, and you feel it shake as its face and lower part of its legs and gross neck, science term, gets shocked with electricity, and it takes the damage, and it seems still relatively fine. What we're going to do, Nutella, is you're going to get to do your attack, and then we are going to, sorry, Eric read, hey, no bug shaming. Your neck isn't gross. It's these things, man. It's these
These
things.
things are literally just the neck with feet attached to them.
Yeah,
just not
cool.
Not cool. I'm sorry, buddy. So Haley, why don't you do your light attack, or Nutella? Who's Haley?
Sorry, I was
Who's
doing
Haley?
the thing where I look things up in the book because my character sheet's missing. So as Nutella lands, is going to with all of her paws. I think at the same moment that the lightning is crackling around, to cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
Damn.
Yep. Nice. Wow.
Which I'm making sure I have right because I didn't add my domain spells to my character sheet.
How are you looking it up, Haley?
Player's
I mean,
handbook.
Nutella. Oh,
on the ground.
I didn't know if you were using that or
The power of
D&D
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond, I don't actually know why. I just reverted to my to when I had the the panic about not having the needed. All right, so need them to make a any creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. So you know what? I'm gonna just say that it had just made a dexterity saving throw, and so it is going to fail that dexterity saving throw because it's currently reacting to being fried. So I'm gonna give this one to you from on top if you are attacking the same one. If you are doing another one, then it'll get its a dexterity saving throw.
15-foot cone.
Oh, I see. Of course.
So
Okay,
it's
so
gonna
this
hit
one.
them both if they
Yep, this one fails it, and the other one rolls a. Oh, this one actually rolled really well. It rolls a 19.
Must make it just says a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
It's
It's
probably
probably
based
against
on
your
my
spell
level,
save.
which I think mine's like 8 or something like that. So okay, just one of them.
What's your spell save DC?
See.
It's on your character sheet, which we established you don't have.
8 plus
And I'm looking for it. I am looking for it.
8 plus modifier plus proficiency.
Probably like 13, 14.
7, 19, 23.
Hey now.
Exactly,
Sounds
23.
legit. It's legit.
Yeah, no, it's not 23. Why can't I find it? I'm really sorry. My save DC is apparently 12.
Okay, so one of them failed, the other one succeeded.
Well, they take 15 points failed and half that for the one that succeeded of fire damage.
So what was that? Pardon? How many
The
points
one
total?
that failed takes 15 points of fire damage.
That's
and
good.
then the other one
Okay.
takes half of that.
Wow. Okay.
It
So
ignites
half.
any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried.
You know what? You're surrounded in stone, so you're lucky. I was really trying to see what I could ignite into flame, but Alvin's not close enough, so it's fine.
I am wearing things. I'm wearing my fur.
That's why you're not close enough.
This is what you get for being one of 2 furred animals out here.
It's true.
Your choice,
Silly,
Warren.
silly mammals.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Horn
so
just
the
went
one
for
that
a
you're on
bear.
top of, you place it gets the brunt of the cone, and you see that its maw and its neck are melting as if the stone is melting into magma and revealing skin's freshest layer as you burn that layer away too. And it is in terrible agony. The other one having caught the end parts of the cone, moving up and away, like skittering up in terrible sound. Is only its tail gets caught in the fire. So, my friends, we are going to take a very quick break to refresh ourselves, to use the facilities. We will be back and we will be into this combat in earnest. So, thank you guys for everything, especially for the beginning. We really appreciate you being here. We will see you in a few. Take care. Be back in a minute. Hello. I don't know if they heard me swear or not. They
Yeah.
might have. No, they didn't. Okay. I did a
To be
swear.
fair, you got it.
But you didn't
You got
hear it.
longer this time than you've ever gotten before.
That's
Yeah,
true,
we're
actually.
all very proud.
Thanks, man.
And suspicious.
Thank you.
Like a
And
proud
suspicious.
papa.
Where did his swear goes?
I think he's
Where
just
have-
saving it. He's saving
This
it so
is-
we can swear when he kills us.
I'm not sure this is the real leap.
No, this is Air in his best leap costume.
No, we know it can't be air.
Oh yes, he's
We
been doing some things
Yes.
according to chat.
Air is busy.
He is
It
busy.
wasn't just Alvin in 2 places.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back. We have once returned. Thank you for staying. It really means a lot to us. And we are going to get right into the action. Our friends find themselves at the beginning of combat with terrible millipedes who seem interested on eating stone memories.
And also, thanks to whoever subbed, because that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a sub. Thank you for subscribing.
Wow.
That is so cool. What
Thank you, John
also,
Psychologist.
Oh, wow, you make us feel so special.
I would like to point
less
out,
bad about how bad this has gone.
this is amazing. I don't know who it was, but Fido, you subbed. Thank
Fido,
you.
wow, thank you so much.
Incredible.
Yay! Doctor.
Wow.
Doctor drunk
Dr.
Fido.
Fido.
That's true. PhD. But I really want to thank everyone who watches the stream and anyone who watches us. Like, we've hit a new level in Twitch, which is really cool. No, we're not quite there yet. Or I don't know. Jarika's she's doing dancing that I'm misinterpreting. We're here. But
We started at the bottom.
And
now we're here. And our whole team's here. So anyways,
I love you
thank
guys.
you very much. We love you, and we're gonna fight for you right now. So we're getting into initiative order. Akka, you are first. You've seen a boomerang go awry, you've seen lightning, and you've seen fire. And so what was once like dark, only being lit by like the flashlight that is Dueler's sword kind of casting out in a cone, there's now been like 2 terrible bursts of light that have lit this place up like fireworks. So what are you going to do?
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is get my Audacity recording again because I'm terrible.
No.
Okay, so now we're good.
All right. Should
so
we do?
you
Let's do a
said-
clap. We got to do another clap in if we're doing recording again, so we can tell where it is. All right. So everyone, we're gonna do a quick clap. Sorry about that. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And another
Dr.
3,
Fido.
2, 1. All right, we're clap back in. This is a great stream. I love this
Okay,
stream. It's the
so
best stream.
you said that I've seen fire and I've seen rain. No.
I've seen
Down in Africa.
Oh, now
Thank
that's
you
2
all.
songs.
You have to
I
pay.
appreciate you
Don't
all
go
so
too
much.
far. You'll have to pay.
Oh yeah, oops, we're not licensed for
Yep.
this.
Yep.
That's why
Okay.
you have to mix songs and you get 7 seconds. So if you just cut a bunch of songs and you're good.
All right, let's get to battle. Come on, let's see
Okay,
it.
so paint me a picture here, DM Leap.
With the words.
I have 2 centipedes on this side
Yep.
and
So-
2 centipedes on this side.
Yeah, so so basically imagine that it's almost in complete mathematical unison.
Okay.
That they are on equidistance from each other. There are 2 on the left, kind of up above you, and 2 on the right, up above you. The ones on the right, up above you, are the ones that are currently under siege by the badger that you saw emerge from this place, and what seems to be a small mouse ally that he pulled out of his back, flung at them with a boomerang, who then they seem to have this thing where he timed lightning and she timed fire. So this team is something, right? They are
Gotcha.
a hell of a
Okay.
team.
Where is
so-
this buddy
Okay.
cop movie?
Would you say that our fall down hole we're in here is smaller than a 5-foot cube?
No, I would say it is bigger than a 5-foot cube.
Okay, good. That's what I needed to hear.
Okay.
'Cause I really didn't want to hurt my friends here. Okay, so Akka will look up and he'll see all of what's going on the right side, and he'll figure, okay, these two warriors have this handled.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks up to the left, and you look up, and his eyes kind of roll back in his head a little bit, and he slams his staff down, and the robes start billowing out behind him, and you hear him start talking in proud, which I don't know. Only person that would understand it would be Nox, I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah.
And it's him just reciting words for spells, and he's Hasa, 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 and he casts Cloud of Daggers on the left side centipede.
Nice. Okay.
So you fill the air with spinning daggers in a 5-foot cube on each side, centered on a point you choose within range. A creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time, or it starts its turn there.
Interesting. Okay, I love it. Is it a dex saving throw that they have to make, or is it just there? And they have to deal
I
with it?
think that just happens.
Amazing. So they're taking 44 damage right now, and then on their turn they'll experience another 44. Correct?
Yay!
I love it. Okay, so
Yay.
tell me, does this cloud erupt from you and head towards them?
Oh,
Does it form
think-
around them?
I think it starts. I want to say it starts at like the end of the staff in like a small little ball, and then anime explodes out.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dope.
So 4d4. That's a 1.
That's a good start. Nice low number. Easy to count.
That's 3. That's 4. 8.
8.
Just need a 2.
10 damage.
10 damage. That's awesome. Okay. So they you hear a terrible it's almost like the sound of steam leaving a teapot as their bodies as you see like the cloud hits them in the middle, and then both their tops and bottoms kind of curl into itself, like kind of curl up in pain and down on both sides as both of these things kind of their whole center is attacked by hundreds of small knives. Amazing. Next up, Gindrock, you are up again.
All right. I think, all right. I'm pretty big. I fill this up substantially, right?
Yeah, you are, I would say, like, this place is not the size of you, but you definitely, like, everyone had to move to the peripheries of it to fit your frame. And I would say there's about I would say that there's 10 to 15 paws of distance between you and the hole that you climbed out from, right?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just wondering if I can time it such that one of these centipedes is moving around and I can grab its lowest point and just try and yank it off the wall in a huge slam.
Oh, entirely. I'd say that with a jump, you would be able to, like a jump and a reach, you would be able to grab one of these things. And with an athletics or strength check, you could definitely make that happen. Mm-hmm.
Well, let me check this. Strength checks and saving throws. Because I'm raging, I get advantage on.
Ooh, I like it.
So I'll go ahead and do that. No, let's see. Actions. Okay. 8 plus 5 is 13. Is it?
Against their strength?
Okay. So I think 15 is my best.
Yeah, 15. 1 second. They get an opposing.
Okay. Yep.
But it rolled an 8, and so you got it. You grab it hard by the tail, and you just tell me how you're gonna whip it. Like, are you whipping it to the ground? Are you trying to hit another one with it? Like, what are you doing?
Ooh, I think what I'll do is if I grab this thing by the haunch, I just want to like tear it off over the shoulder and then like suplex it in front of me. And once it hits the ground and like rebounds off, I just surge it full of electricity.
Amazing.
Yes.
So, yeah, you pull it, and it feels like it feels like when when you're pulling vines off of something, off of like a house. It feels like that. You feel every single point of its legs connecting, just like pulling off, and it slams onto the ground, and you see its like sickly yellow body under the legs and armor. It almost like shines and glimmers a bit as it kind of like is up on itself, trying to curl and turn to get its bearings. As you just Emperor Palpatine right into it. So tell me about that damage.
Yeah. Okay. So, you can tell me what damage I would do for the I guess the slam. Since that's not, I don't know. This is just D&D. DM, you tell me that. But for the electricity, it's the same. It's the Dex saving throw against my against 11.
Perfect. I'm gonna say that since it didn't make its strength saving throw, since it's on its back, I'm gonna impose disadvantage on it being able to get away from dexterity wise. So it rolled a 13, and it rolled 2 13s. So
it does. Okay, so it takes half damage.
Okay, perfect.
This.
So it is able to twist. It doesn't get up onto its back, but it's able to like twist its kind of body mostly out of the way as it like curls and turns onto itself. And I'm gonna say that you can take. Oh, 1 second, Carl, come here. We're getting thunder on our hands over here, and my dog might freak out, so I might have to run. And you'll hear it bark. But I'm gonna say that you can make add your I'd say your proficiency score plus your strength modifier for the damage. So yeah.
So that would be an additional okay, so 3 plus proficiency 2. So 5 damage, and then I rolled a 5 on the lightning. So if I don't know whether you run up or down on that, but so it's either.
So it's 5 slam damage, right, to hit the ground, and then it's going to take 3 lightning damage because it gets half, right? Because of the dex save, right? Okay, so total of 8 damage. Was that the one beside Haley that you were Nutella?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's not. I'm not going to slam on Nutella. Just like a ragdoll in this. So I'll go for the one that was next to her, not the one that she's riding.
Perfect.
It's a new addition to the actions. You can use mouse attack.
Yeah.
Is that a 6E thing?
It's exactly. Kate Welch is cringing somewhere. This thing is
head. It's 7E.
Yeah. Oh my God. This thing is very hurt. It is bloodied. It's past its half hit points. Now, Nutella. It is the centipede's turn. So they will get to go. So Nutella, what this one's going to try and do that you're on it is it's going to try and fling you off of it. So it is going to make a strength check against you. So we're going to have 2 opposing strength rolls to see if it can get you shaken off of its body, trying to get the fire away. Okay.
Its body is very strong.
Mm-hmm. It didn't do very well.
-1, so 13.
13? Okay. You still, it is shaking and turning. You can tell that it's in a weakened state. Its muscles and sinus and sinews. Its sinuses in pain. Its sinews. You guys, my sinuses. It is trying its best, but you're able to just hold on hard as it tries to shake you off. Gindrock, this one, the one closest to you, finally is able to turn around, and its body kind of lunges at you and tries to wrap itself around your body. So it is going to make, you can either make it's going to make an attack to see if it hits you. What's your AC?
My AC is
13. Okay.
Yep.
All right. It rolls a natural 1. So what I'm gonna say is this thing it's not doing well. So it lunges at you, and I'm gonna give you a reaction to do something simple with it. Like maybe you're still holding onto its leg, or maybe you grab it. You just see it coming so easily. What do you want to do?
So I think as a reaction, let me see what I can do. Reckless attack. That's not... 1 sec. Yeah. Ooh. It doesn't hit. So, look, I don't really have anything I can do just as a reaction, other than to say that if it's trying to grapple me, I'm trying to grapple it in turn, and I would want
Okay.
like kind of tuck its nasty end under the thing, and then lever it and try and like break through its carapace from beneath. That's just
awesome.
You can tell me where that fits into the initiative order.
Totally. So it comes at you, and you see it, and you just grab it like head first, and you just wrap it like you're trying to tie a cord, like a electrical cord, right? You just get it like around the elbow, and you're looping it around yourself, and you can feel it fighting. And I'm gonna just throw some damage. What's your strength modifier?
My
Plus
strength,
3, you said?
yes, 3.
Okay.
Plus 3.
Yeah, and so you feel like as you're turning it around your body, you hear cracks and movement as like parts of its carapace like shatter off of it, as this thing tries to wrangle itself free of you, as you're just kind of working it around, and getting it in the position you want to deal its final blow. This thing is very, very hurt. Now the other two are going to descend down and head towards the closest things. What I'm going to say is one of them is heading towards Nox, and you watch it come down towards you, and it is going to try and make a grapple attack against you, Nox. So
out of curiosity, Leap, how close is Nox to like me and Dueler and company?
Oh, I would say he's very close to you guys. I would say he's landed like 5 feet in front of you.
Okay, so it's trying to grapple him. Because I'm gonna go and use my shield, because I'm carrying a shield and I have an ability called Protect. So I'm gonna impose disadvantage with my reaction on that.
Perfect. All right, tell me what that looks like. Tell me the character of that one.
So I see this thing coming, and it's lunging for this weird bohemian lizard person with all of his feathers and I recognize him from up at the party, and I just saw him like slip and slide his way down, riding the other lizard person. So it's been weird already, and then now this thing is going for him, and I'm just like, I'm not having this. This is too much. So I would sort of interpose myself a little bit in between him with the shield, and sort of look over my shoulder and go, "Nice of you to drop by."
Nice. Cool.
So yeah, I'll bodily get in the way.
Perfect. So what is your armor class, Nox?
14.
14? Okay. So the getting in the way works. You see this thing try and gain momentum as it comes down, and all of a sudden this giant beetle gets in front of you, and you watch, and Iscanius, you feel the weight of this thing hit your shield, and then the momentum of itself forces it to move sideways, right? Like it was planning on continuing to move, and it can't stop. Its body just has to careen sideways as it kind of hits you and reflects, and it's forced to continue to move. And it isn't able to turn itself around quick enough to get an attack in. The other one moves down towards... and since they were moving, they both take 44 cloud damage again, don't they, Akka?
So can anybody starts their turn, I will certainly give them some damage.
Yeah. Because the other one's coming for you. But they might as well get the damage down at that point in time.
Cal damage.
I was gonna say that.
That's a hot 7 off of 4d4.
You know what? That's pretty good, man. These things
One,
aren't doing super well.
1, 1, 4.
Okay.
That's close.
Okay. So they force their way through this, and then this one, it's they're working in unison. So like Eric, you or Ascanius blocks the one lizard, but the other lizard is completely in peril, and so this one makes an attack on you. Wow, what's your armor class? Akko, what's your armor class, buddy?
Oh, my armor class is a 14.
Okay, so he hits you.
Ouchies.
Yeah, he hits you, and so he is going to do. So the first thing that happens is you feel the brunt of the hit, but then you feel these legs kind of slowly starting to wrap around you, as this
No.
thing wraps its body,
No.
kind of just it hits you in the chest, and then it just starts curling itself around your arms and legs. Any spells now that require a movement, a hand movement, you cannot do until you are able to break yourself free. And you take 8. You take 10 damage as these claws kind of cut along you as it just wraps and tightens its weight around you, and you're grappled. You can make an opposing strength check to try and get out now. If you want.
Yeah, let me use all of my strength. I'm
Yeah.
just super good.
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're stuck. You're stuck for now.
I'm the grappled.
Yep. Alvin, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shoot the one holding Akka.
Okay, perfect.
Please do not roll a 1.
Do you just want me to keep it in my hand?
Just don't roll a 1. That's all I ask.
It's good. It's good. It's a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah. So there is more bug than lizard available to hit at this point in time. So you definitely hit it right on the carapace. So tell me the damage that you do.
And this one's very healthy, right?
The daggers have done a surprising amount of damage to these things. You see cuts and scrapes and missing plates all along these. That was a very effective spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to spend a grit point to use a violent shot, which allows me to add another damage die.
Man, that's cool.
Tasty.
How does 18 damage work?
Whoo! 18 damage. You feel you hit this thing, and Akka, your whole body is fighting hard against the tightening, spiny, cutting noose that is wrapping, like hose that is kind of wrapping itself around you. And then all of a sudden, all of the pressure and weight suffocating you goes limp as this thing sloths off of your body. And you look and you just see the smoking barrel of a gun being held by your Rivertail friend, as the otter has rung true and just, yeah, it's down. One is absolutely down.
And you just see Aeonis go and spins it back into his belt.
Amazing. Then we are up to Nutella. It's your turn.
This time I will start with my spiritual weapon so I won't forget to use it this time.
Nice.
Because I
Smart.
forgot. So I am going to be near me still, right? That are alive, or
There's the one that's on you. That's the one that you're holding onto. There's the one that you see Gindrock kind of grappling with. One has been bounced off of a shield, and one is dead. So all within range of your spiritual weapon.
Yes. I'm going to take the spiritual weapon and actually I'll just stab it sitting on top of.
Yep. Sounds good.
We'll see how that goes. I rolled an 18 plus something plus.
Oh yeah, that totally hits.
Okay, so they take 1d8 plus 2. Where's my d8? That one.
It's like 2d stacked.
Pardon, Haley, can you say that again? You cut out a little bit. 8 damage?
Yes.
Okay, yep. So you tell me how you want to do this, actually. You kill this thing.
Oh, I kill it?
What? Yeah.
No, it's
Wow.
going to be gross.
I like gross.
Think. Butter knife, it's not very stabby. So I have to it has to like go in between like the joints and the legs.
Yeah, this is
and
gross.
Then
I like
it's gonna saw it apart.
Just
dull serrated edge.
Make a dexterity saving throw. Because this
Forgot that I was sitting on it.
Yeah, it's as this knife is making its work, the whole body reacts defensively. And so like the front part moves and the second part moves in not unison as it's getting taken into pieces.
My dexterity modifier. Where are my saving throws?
Nox and Eric. Or who's Eric?
17.
17? Perfect. Yeah, so you are able to hold on as this piece kind of falls off of itself and the whole thing goes limp, and you are able to brace yourself correctly and land on the right end of this thing as it falls to the ground. So there's like a jarring sensation as your body kind of hits, but the hard, like it's absorbed by this insect. Somewhere in a tunnel, in a kitchen, there are mice who have been taught magic by a frog about how to contain a giant chicken. And they are talking amongst themselves, and they hear a rumbling. And so Skittle turns to Scuttle and says, "What do you think that is?" And Scuttle says, "I don't know, but I really needed to hold a sneeze for this whole time." And their hands are up very high, and the chicken consistently tries to peck at this magic barrier that their hands are holding up. And
Whoa.
Skittle says, "Scuttle, don't Scuttle. Scuttle, no, please. And it goes, and this magic fails, and there's a horrible and
that's someone else's problem, right? That's like someone else is gonna deal with that while we take care of this.
This just became Jurassic Park.
There's a bursting of dust somewhere above you, and
a full-size chicken.
And there is as this terrible beast kind of gets caught halfway in the hole, its head looking down and in the gap and kind of like looking at everything going on. It's
Here to help us.
Echoing within it
our
as it shakes itself down and just lands. I want everyone to make a dexterity saving throw to get out of the way of this chicken as it falls.
Druid Nox, talk to the chicken. Make it our friend.
Question, Leap.
Yeah.
Did you do that because you thought my turn had ended because I only used my bonus action?
Oh my gosh, no, you only used your bonus action. Tell me what you're going to do. I'm sorry.
Last time I forgot to use my bonus action.
Yep,
so,
I did.
I went with that one
mistake.
first. So I was going to cast Guiding Bolt on the other live.
Oh no. You rolled a 1. Okay, so Haley, Nutella, you can decide to cast Guiding Bolt on one of the live ones, or you can decide that this is happening at the same time and you can cast Guiding Bolt on the chicken. It is entirely up to you. Yeah.
Okay. characters make a raised assault. Okay, I'm just gonna roll.
Right.
All right. I rolled an 18, and I am going to do this. I'll attack one of the millipedes.
Perfect.
because
Yep.
I'm wrong.
No, there's 2 left, so that's good. There's the one that Gindrock is holding, and then there's the one that was that is trying to turn itself around.
I will Rock is holding.
Okay. So yeah, what damage is that?
So 6 plus 6 plus 12. Right? 4, 5, no, 17. 17. I can do math. I'm good.
17 damage. Yeah. So that Gindrock, you're wrestling this thing into submission, and you see a
Yep.
brilliant flash of light come and hit it right in its center, and it just like curls into itself as it dies. Like all of its muscles just kind of curl up as it kind of tightens and passes. And as that happens, you see this terrible foe of like this worthy hunt enemy kind of getting stuck in your passageway, and then slowly descending down in like an awkward fall. Now, Ooze, I know that you rolled a 1. What did everybody else roll on our dexterity saving throw to get out of the way of this monstrous bird?
Oh,
I got a
14.
16.
14,
and a
16.
natural 20.
Perfect.
I got an unnatural 20.
Bum, 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 bum.
Awesome. So everyone but Akka is able to get out of the way. Akka's still kind of pulling himself out of this pile of insect that he was wrapped upon, and you are going to take
Akka is just getting beat
Slow
up
down.
today.
Slow down, bud.
You're gonna take 16 damage as you land this chicken, just its back, downy feathers and hard bone just lands on top of you.
Akka is outskis.
Oh,
And
it's fine.
It goes black. You go limp, and this chicken starts to try and right itself up on its terrible red spindly talon legs. And Nox, it is your turn now that you see this foe here.
So, when someone's down like that, what does healing do?
Healing will bring him up. So he's at 0 hit points, and so healing will bring him up whatever hit point total that you give him, and it will remove him from the worry of death saving throws.
So seeing him get brutalized like this and fall, I can just see a mirror of myself in my scaly form. So I draw from the Feywild, and he gets a grand total of 3 hit points back.
Okay.
To boost back up. But in addition to that, I see this new friend appear, this chicken, and I use Speak with Animals to say, "Hello, friend. Have you seen these delicious, many-legged morsels? I've heard tales of how your kind just hunt for the most delicious legs. Well, look in front of you, and see so many legs."
It looks at you, and it gets like it is able to it's on its back, and its wing feathers, like there's a as it kind of like gets itself up, and it looks down at you and everyone just hears like these like and like which reverberate terribly in the sound, but you hear small chicken, I hunger. and it like looks at you,
Oh no.
and it says, "Those. I hunger for those.
The long boys, yes.
The
long
long
ones.
boys."
Long,
Yes.
long.
It
I'm dead.
Just that slow pan onto the centipede.
Yep. just and he
Yep.
splits it in half, and he just go and
Gosh.
the bird this giant thing says looks at them and it goes, and there's like everyone hears like and you hear long boys. and all of a sudden its wings go out in anger, and you watch Ascanius as the one that you knocked off of your shield is taken entirely in a talon, just grabbed right from the middle and just lifted up from the ground, its whole parts just kind of flailing around you. Is there anything else, Nox, that you want to do on your turn? I guess that you cast your spell, right?
Yeah. I guess I just fold my arms and not. Just yeah. Okay.
In one fell swoop, you solved the chicken puzzle.
Solve the chicken puzzle.
Ascanius, it is your turn. There's a horrid monster. You've heard of whole platoons going down to a pack of these things. You've never seen one, but you've heard that there's wild versions of these in the wood outside of the valley proper.
Yeah.
And it has just taken one of these foes up within its talon itself.
Okay.
What do you do?
So that slip and slide that Nox made, that sort of corkscrewed, is that still there?
Oh, it's still there. Yeah, it's a permanent
is, okay.
itching. It's a little busted, but it's still there. Yeah.
How, not that I doubt Nox is skilled, how smooth was it?
It isn't perfect. It's
Sure.
I mean, like Akka took abrasion damage for a reason, right?
Chafe damage, yeah.
Chafe damage, yeah, exactly. And especially now because because Gindrock kind of clawed his way through with both front and back claws. I would say every 5, 10, 15. It's not perfect, but there are different kind of etchings through this thing.
So is it something that these guys could all scale?
I don't know. It would take some athletics checks to try.
Okay. Do I think that the chicken would be able to get up it?
This chicken had a really hard time falling down into this space. So, like, the ability of it to work its way back up, you could give me a check. Why don't you give me like a nature or chicken-based
my
history check? I don't know. Insight, investigation. I don't know.
I could do investigation. Sure. See how that turns out.
All right.
13.
Okay. So a quick look at the hole itself is near the width of the chicken, right? Like the chicken's body had to squeeze through to kind of work its way out of this thing. So it's going to have a hard time getting out.
Okay, sure. Well, talking is a free action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start yelling at everyone. Everybody back up the curly Q, the lizard chute. Everybody up there. And I'm going to rush up to the chicken because the chicken it's over by the one that I sort of redirected, right? So it's a little bit away. I mean, granted, the chicken fills the space, I'm sure.
Between it and Gindrock, there's like you can get It is. It's with if you duck, you'll be able to clear its underside, right? Like,
Okay.
so you can go around it. But it is a little. It's getting tighter in here, definitely.
Okay. Would it have to move to get to other people?
The chicken itself, it would have to reposition, right?
Okay,
like
sure.
I think it
Well,
wouldn't
I'm gonna run up to it. I'm gonna run up to it, and I'm gonna use Channel Divinity. And I'm gonna use Champion Challenge.
Okay.
So every creature of my choice within 30 feet, so I'm gonna make it the baddies, have to make a Wisdom saving throw of, I mean, it's only 11, but they've got to make a Wisdom saving throw of 11, or they can't willingly move. Oh, well, you know what? Never mind. That's no good. They can't move more than 30 feet away from me. Never mind. That's crap. I'm just going to cast, because it comes out to the same difference. I'm just going to go ahead and cast Compelled Duel on it.
Okay.
So, same thing. It's got to make a Wisdom saving throw of 11.
Okay, perfect. So let's see here for a second. No, then. Ooh, it rolled an 18.
Okay, well, all right, cool.
It's a wise chicken.
So, yes, I'm done.
Okay, so you've cast this. Are you moving? Like, are you telling anyone? You said speaking to free action. Right?
I started shouting at everybody, and then I ran up to the chicken because the idea was I was going to try and like lock it in place over there.
While people
instead, I have just given it a new snack option.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully everyone else will run away while it, devours me. So that's kind of where we're at.
For our chat, this is an enlarged chicken. This is like well, imagine what the for everyone watching at home, the people at Smallfolk were given the magic was they had found a way to shrink down the chickens to eat, but this must be the source chicken that they brought.
The chicken.
The chicken.
OG chicken.
Yeah, so this is the terrible giant chicken beast.
Original recipe.
So
yeah, exactly.
Would this if this chicken was in all wood, would it be a normal size chicken, but to the small folk it's huge?
Exactly. Yeah. It is a normal sized chicken, but to the small folk, it is a gigantic, terrible creature. Yeah. Jurassic Park T-Rex. Think of it like that kind of thing. Probably not that big, but I just dropped my D20. There we go. But yeah, so
you don't need that. You don't need to roll that at all.
I don't need to roll it at all. Okay, so that's Ascanius' turn. Akka, you have, you've gone, things were black, and now you are taking your first breath again. You find yourself looking at the taint of the chicken.
Nothing but chicken taint.
I couldn't help myself, Jareka. I'm so sorry. It was your
cloaca.
I'm sorry. I will I'm sorry about that. You are seeing the underside of the chicken.
The chicken undercarriage, where
the landing gear is.
The landing gear. No,
exactly.
the lighting.
Just right down.
Yeah,
the ground effects.
Chicken ground effects.
Yep. Exactly. You see the ground effects. Tarek, I'm so sorry. So that's where you find it out.
Help! They made it worse.
What do you do?
Well, since I can't use the words I was going to use earlier, imagine if he was laying there, unconscious, then woke up and looked straight up, and all he saw was the exhaust vent from the desk.
Amazing. This is the best.
And then he just cast Chromatic Orb. Because he is not happy.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Would I have any? Damn it, Scanius. there was in chat stuff y'all can't see that was really funny. So question: Would you would Aka know about any kind of chicken weakness that were of the acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder damage variety? I'm assuming fire, just because chickens.
Because you want fried chicken, not
Give it that
wet
slow
chicken.
roast.
Yeah, that's slow roasted.
Your rotisserie
Original
damage.
recipe.
You don't think that this is a magical, like, it's a real creature, and so it's not imbued by anything. You think that any fire or acid or lightning would hurt it as anything would. You don't think you don't get that sense of it.
So we're gonna do a thing. We're gonna do chromatic
That's
orb.
probably good.
Make a ranged spell attack. So that's a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits. Oh yeah, that hits for sure.
And then I do 3d8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7.
Okay.
11.
So 18.
14. No, 14 altogether. Sorry, I was counting.
Oh,
altogether.
okay.
So
14.
14 altogether.
Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, he will use Tempestuous Magic, which is a bonus action. I can have wind move me 10 feet before or after casting a level 1 or higher spell attack with no opportunity attack given by who you're engaged with. So he's going to chromatic orb straight up. You're going to see his robes billow out and him shoot out Mary Poppins style underneath the chicken.
Oh.
Away, and then he will spend his movement after that 10 feet to get towards people that can help protect him.
Right.
As he bleeds profusely.
Got it. So you use your spell to kind of push you along the ground as this chicken kind of just goes like in pain as fire bursts beneath it. That's all I'll say. And it is looking for it is looking to see whatever caused that, and it can't seem to find it. It's like prey in its claws, and it looks for whatever is the next thing. Gindrock, you are up, and it is this chicken turns, like this legendary foe turns and looks around to try and find whoever cast on this fire, and just naturally its eyes land on you, the second biggest thing around.
I think I may have missed it. Is this chicken talking?
It was speaking with animals. So it was talking to the druid. So to you, it is just making clucks and like its caws and its kind of its purrs within its throat.
So I think Gindrock, his eyes light up again and says, "Finally a worthy foe!" He throws the centipede that he had been grappling with as hard as he can, directly at it, almost using it as a flail.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Can an enemy be an improvised weapon?
Yeah, I will give it an entire yes, 100%. Are you whipping it with it, or are you throwing it?
You know what? Let's do the whip.
Yeah.
I think that's more fun.
Would you whip it?
Whip it good.
Whip it.
Real good.
Yeah. So make that attack roll.
Yeah.
As much as Gindrock digs to the ground, surely they're proficient in grub.
In what? In what?
In grub? Or centipede if you're...
Okay, my flat roll is a 9. I don't really know how to use D&D to tell me, but my unarmed attack is +5.
Yeah, I would say that you would get your. I'd say that you would you would at least get your strength bonus on that one, which will bump it up way past the armor class of this thing. This thing is massive and easy to hit. So the centipede whips and lands, and the nature of their claws kind of dig into the chicken proper and stick. And so this chicken tries to pull away. And so let me take care of the centipede damage on my end. But you have the centipede damage. But we'll add your strength modifier.
Yep. Again,
well,
strength modifier plus 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's quite good. So this thing takes a good hit, as this centipede, this makeshift centipede whip digs around into it, and you think that you could like pull this thing closer to you if you wanted to. This it's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. I think what I would do is after that, I think Gindrock would like throw the centipede to the ground, squaring off against this chicken in unarmed combat, and then stomp on the centipede's head, and with it, and while doing that, that's basically my fluffy way of using my lightning aura on it. So I think with the stomp down on its head, it's like, you know, Thor's thunder hammer strike when just that bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
Just goes boom. So I think it's that to just get this centipede out of the way, because he is a real thing.
Yeah. So just like the centipede's body just goes flying, right? It just like hits against the wall. It lands up on its back, and it's like it's kind of leaning up halfway against the wall so that its legs almost look it's almost like when you lean a ladder up against something, right? Like it just kind of like it leans out, and its legs just kind of hang there, as you and this chicken, and this chicken just immediately turns to you, and you can tell that it is like focused entirely on you. Like, I don't know if it's like sense memory, but you are its prey.
Could be the chicken on my breath.
Yeah, maybe. Nox, what you can tell it's saying though is like, as it's saying, it says, like, you hear it say things like battle, blood, like finally, and it's just like it just turns, and it is like ready to go. Alvin, you see Mothra, and you just see like a battle of happening behind you, as like the room itself shakes, and like the thunder starts knocking some stones down around. What are you gonna do?
How many of those mirror centipedes are still breathing?
You know what? That was the last one. Like, there's
They're
one.
done.
Oh, there is one within the claw, kind of like turning within the claws of the chicken, but it is like this thing is pinned down under the foot of this bird at this point in time. So threat wise, there's only this one big monster fighting this gigantic badger, as the thunder and lightning ricochet off this small space.
Then I'm going to try to basically start running up the slide and taking one last pot shot at the chicken.
Totally. So using the centipede, like one of the centipede bodies has propped itself upwards. So
that's
what I'm
convenient.
gonna do is, can you give me a an athletics check with advantage to get up there, because it's like a ladder.
Couldn't it be like acrobatics?
Sure. Tell me how that works for you. Tell me that.
You said with advantage.
Word picture.
Yeah, paint me what acrobatics looks like. Are you like running? Are you using your momentum instead of your strength to try and like get up high enough that you can find like a good hand position?
I got this. I've been watching some very cheesy '90s TV show with some colored superheroes, teenagers, if you figure out what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So he can do these weird, basically foot flip hand springs up the centipede, up. Just
Like Sonic the Hedgehog, basically. Yeah.
And then as he's upside down, he's just like pop and shoots, and then keeps going.
All right, sounds good. You yeah. So you're able to. What was the roll? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what the roll is?
Did you want advantage or no?
Pardon?
I think it was a 21 or something. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Let's do that. Why not?
Dexterity is where I'm at, so
Yep.
it's successful.
So you are able to use your momentum to kind of throw your body up and tumble upwards. You catch yourself on one of the stones and are able to pull yourself kind of up along the slide. You find that there are claw marks and scratches and rubble and debris that give yourself enough handholds that you think with time you would be able to pull yourself up. Your shot hits the chicken, and you see that the chicken's body takes the damage of it, but it only moves for like its whole neck moves for a second as you watch its beak go in for a peck to try and like hit amongst the stones of the badger itself, as these two titans enact a battle amongst them. So you're climbing up basically, right? Yeah, is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nutella, you're up. You see someone find an escape. What are you gonna do?
My large hungry friend is still engaged with the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will. This thing is very much larger than me, and so I'm going to back towards the area where I could make a dash for it, but I'm not going to run. I am going to with my butter knife try
Do a
to do
stab.
that.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah.
So it takes points of damage.
How many?
I think
7?
my audio is struggling. It's
Your
an 8.
audio's kind of 8. Okay, 8 points of damage. Yeah, it takes it. Its body. So it takes a butter knife. Gindrock, you are locked. You move out of the way as this terrible beak kind of goes, and you feel the pressure of it hit a stone and crack that stone, or like just send a crack into it, and it moves back, and you see this golden knife kind of smack the head of it, kind of pushing it sideways, as your small ally kind of waits by the mouth of the exit that's been created, as she kind of gives you one last aid in this battle.
Cast Guiding Bolt, which will give him advantage on his next turn.
Okay, perfect. I love it. Amazing. So Nutella, you're staying down there for now, but you're going to climb up at the moment's notice. Is that the deal?
I'm ready to make a bolt for it, but
Perfect.
Just
Okay. Nox, you're up.
you
So I
can't
see
leave
that,
the dinner table before everyone's finished.
I see that my companions here are backing their way towards. Several of them are backing their way towards the chute I create, and realizing that I've created a really quick way to get down, but not so bad, not so easy way to get up. I use mold earth to turn them into steps. So if we can stay close together as a group, I can kind of keep them, build some stairs in front of us and dissolve them behind us as we go. And I'm more than ready to start climbing. So I run to my first step, turn to my chicken friend, and say, "Eat well, friend," and then run up the stairs.
You say that
Amazing.
to the chicken?
I say that to the chicken.
I love it. Inspiration point. Absolutely astounding. For siding with the enemy because you both have feathers. Nox. So Ascanius. So Akka, you were already making your exit out. Ascanius. Is there any one last thing that you want to do? You see stairs. You see exits. You see someone already going up. Is there any final part that you want to have?
Yeah. I mean, Akka looks like hell. So I'm gonna run up and use lay on little pointy bug hands, and
And pincers.
no,
Mandibles? Lay on mandibles?
honestly,
No, that's not it.
I don't have.
Smidges.
Is it just
Lay
like
on-
kissing
Wait,
someone with your
I
mouth?
don't have pincers. Like
Is
there
it
is
lay
so
on-
much hurtful anti-bug rhetoric going on in this thing.
Bug
This is just like a
anatomy. I will
smooth
work
human
on
mouth?
this. My bug knowledge before our next game, so I can use the right words.
So,
here.
just out of curiosity, Akka, like how bad are you?
I mean, if you were to give it a number like 3/20ths,
How?
Yeah.
3/20ths,
3 out of 20. He's
Yeah,
he's
3 over
feeling-
20, not good.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you 10.
Okay.
So that I have a little bit left in the tank in case like a giant bird lands on you again.
Mhm.
Because you can never really be too sure. And then I guess
Drew-
I'm gonna like haul my carapace towards the stairs.
Yeah, Drew. He like Dueler. Says, "I'll be right with you, my friend." And in a moment of instinct, he throws his sword. And
come on.
he throws it, and it sticks into the chicken, and it erupts into light. And the
Ooh.
chicken just fire bursts along his back, and then you watch Ascanius in moment as he kind of like closes his eyes and whispers hard, pauses, waits, and then all of a sudden you see a light show as the sword creates itself again in his hand, and he says, "Mother said something like this could happen sometimes. Right, chap? We better get going, shouldn't we?" And then he starts making his way up the stairs, giving you a pat on your carapace as the party slowly makes their way up the battle, up this staircase that their friend is carving out of the earth. The terrible fight slowly getting quieter beneath them as you hear a pound and a crash. You hear a cry out of a badger as beak and talon rips in, but then there is a smash, and then another smash, and one final one as there is a boom of thunder, and then suddenly there's just silence. No more bird sounds. And Akka, or Nox, you swear that you can hear feathers being plucked somewhere below as Gindrock, you defeat your foe, and you are able to feast in the way that your ancestors have spoken of. And you know that it will take some time, but you must carve this out in one of the new bare spots of the stone before making the journey that you need to make to reconnect. And that, my friends, is where we are going to end this episode. So thank you guys
2 more hours.
very much. Oh my goodness. We are super over time. Thank you for bearing with us with our
Thank you,
technical
everybody.
difficulties. Thank you for staying with us tonight. I want to say a huge thanks to Adrian, to Dunami. He's got some amazing things coming up in his personal life, and I am just honored. Like he's just doing some cool things, and I'm just honored that we had the time to play with you that we did. So thank you so much for your time, man. It was amazing having you at the Small Folk table.
My pleasure. Thank you for letting me be a ridiculous badger, completely undermining the entire premise of Small Folk.
Yeah, thanks.
It was
for
a
that,
blast.
Adrian.
Whenever I can, I'd love to come back because just like like the boomerang he throws, it will all come back to us. in the
Always
end.
comes back.
Always. You're always welcome, man. Absolutely. Everyone, thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow for Small Talk. I am very excited to see what this is like. I'm gonna see if I can pop in and see
I'm
what's
tuning
going on.
in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, my friends. Stay kind, stay curious, stay careful out there, and remember, heroes come in all sizes. Thanks for coming through the valley. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.